In the arena of geopolitics, there have been countless times when the CIA stooge in Ukraine, Zelensky, has been bashed, insulted, and humiliated on the global scale. Several European allies, like the Hungary and even Germany, have been seen questioning and diverting themselves from the Ukrainian drama. However, it has never been observed that Ukraine was seething due to the shenanigans. But the tables are now turning. Bratislava has punched Ukraine where it is hurting Kiev the most. With Robert Fico controlling Ukraine's electric grid, Ukraine is now caught in a trap. The more they push back, the darker their wartime nights might get. According to the media reports, Slovakian Prime Minister Robert Fico has been accused by the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky of launching a second energy front against Kyiv on Moscow's orders, intensifying the already tense war over the Russian gas supplies to Europe. Several European nations, including Slovakia, Moldova, and Hungary, receive Russian natural gas through Ukraine. However, when a current transit agreement that was signed prior to the Russian 2022 war of Ukraine expires at the end of the year, it is anticipated to stop the flow. Fico, who traveled to Moscow earlier this week to meet the Russian President Vladimir Putin, stated on Friday that if Kiev stops the transfer on 1st of January, Slovakia will take retaliatory action against Ukraine, including stopping off the backup power supplies. And so Zelensky, who is currently in a difficult situation, has started to cry on social media as a result. In a post on X on Saturday, Zelensky expressed his desperation by writing, "It seems that Putin gave Fico the orders to open the second energy front against Ukraine at the expense of Slovak people's interest." This comes as Robert Fico, the Prime Minister of Slovakia, threatened to take retaliatory action against Ukraine if Kiev halts the transit of Russian gas to Slovakia on 1st of January. When the current contract expires by the end of the year, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky stated last week that his government will not prolong the transit of Russian gas. Zelensky charged Fico with the using of Russian natural gas purchase to assist Putin in funding his war of Ukraine. In a video released on Facebook Friday, Fico stated that we will take account the circumstances and the potential for reciprocal actions against the Ukraine after 1st of January. If it is unavoidable, we will stop the supply of electricity which Ukraine urgently needs in the event of grid failures, he stated. For those who don't know, Slovakia insists on Russian gas via Ukraine, citing costlier alternatives and a €500 million loss in transit fees. Yet, Kiev refuses a new transit deal amid the war, relying on imported power after Russian strikes crippled the grid in 2022. Though the Russian gas supplies are now under 10% of the EU total imports, that is down from 40% in 2021, Eastern Europe stays heavily reliant. Zelensky noted that Slovakia provides 19% of the Ukraine's power import, with Kyiv seeking stronger EU ties. However, Slovakia's government under Robert Fico has changed the tone of approach with Ukraine. The country has denoted a significant amount of military hardware to Ukraine, and it is a member of both NATO and the European Union. Once upon a time, it was also one of the few members that advocated for strict EU sanctions against Ukraine. But under Fico, who has repeated the justification offered by the Russian President Vladimir Putin for his invasion, this is probably going to change even more. Fico has also accused Ukrainian Nazis and fascists of inciting Putin to launch the invasion. Fico also became a close ally of Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban during his time in opposition, particularly when it came to criticize the EU. There are also rumors that Fico and Orban might be joining hands together to put up barriers for Brussels. Fico has also refrained from joining the West's pro-Ukraine and anti-Russia bandwagon. After winning the parliamentary elections last year, Fico has already halted the deliveries of weapons to Ukraine and has called for a diplomatic solution of the war. And this has particularly left Zelensky obnoxious.